Ladies and gentlemen, before we even begin today's commentary, please switch off your ZBC brain chip and activate your independent thought processor. Because what you are about to hear is the kind of analysis that gets you side-eyed by the CIO, ghosted by state-aligned uncles, and possibly followed by a white Toyota GD6 with number plates that somehow belong to a donkey cart in Mzarabani. If you are looking for a safe space full of recycled government press statements and patriotic nonsense, this is not the show for you. This is where we air Zimbabwe's dirty boots and camouflage contradictions without fear, favor, or a free farm in Nyabira. Now, let's get straight into the military circus unfolding behind the green gates of the Zimbabwe National Army. You see, in Zimbabwe, politics isn't just played in parliament or on Twitter. No, no. Here, the real politics is staged into camouflage uniforms, whispered through walkie-talkies, and occasionally shouted into the ears of frightened villagers during a night raid. And as of 2025, there is only one burning question. Who are the progressive forces Geza keeps talking about? Yesterday we brought you a story where Geza was saying he was not bought. He's not negotiating with the ZANU-PF. The revolution is on and the progressive forces are working behind the scenes. So who are these progressive forces? Not the fake progressive types who suddenly believe in democracy every 5 years, but those hardened veterans and strategic thinkers in uniform. Those who believe that Mnangagwa's dictatorship is a national disease that needs surgical military removal. These are the ones whose silence is louder than the ZBC news at 8 o'clock. Or shall we say 2030? Let's break it down. When Blessed Bombshell Geza says progressive forces, he's not talking about your motivational WhatsApp group that shares Bible verses and fuel cues hacks. He is talking about real, hardcore military men, those battle-hardened comrades who traded their Zanla sticks for AK-47s and now want to trade their silence for revolution. Men who still believe the country belongs to the people, not the bank accounts of the first family. These are not people waiting for cabinet posts or fuel coupons. They are the unseen architects of pressure, power, and possibility. They are the shadows within the system who have come to believe that ZANU-PF establishment has become a hollow shell echoing only with the screams of corruption and the groans of hungry citizens. At the center of it all is General Constantino Chiwena, the Grand Master of Operation Restore Legacy, the 2017 coup that promised us freedom and instead delivered bond notes. He might be wearing a suit these days, but make no mistake, Chiwena still commands loyalty within the army ranks like a seasoned general. And some of those loyalists, well, that's your progressive forces right there. His handshake might be civilian, but his alliances are still forged in trenches, in military canteens, and officers' messes across the country. In these establishments, there is quiet, cautious loyalty to the general that Mnangagwa's presidential scarf could never earn. No matter how many tractors he donates to youth with 0 hectares of land. First up, Lieutenant General, retired Anselm Sanyatwe, the man whose CV reads like a handbook for coups and counter-coups. Until March 2025, he was the commander of the entire Zimbabwe National Army. That's right. He was sitting right at the top until Mnangagwa, in a panic attack disguised as executive decision making, fired him abruptly. Why? Because he was getting too close to the troops that still say yes sir to Chiwenga. Sanyatwe is Chiwenga's man, period. This is the same man who played a decisive role in the 2017 operation that catapulted Mnangagwa into power. And now he's being shoved aside like an expired ballot paper. His dismissal wasn't about strategy or restructuring. It was about political survival, fear disguised as reform. The question now is, what does a loyal general do when betrayed by the same system he once rescued? And let's not forget General George Chiweshe, the quiet legal mind of the military cabal, the former Judge Advocate General and Electoral Commission head. He's the kind of man who can interpret both a constitution and a coup. You won't find him trending on TikTok, but in the barracks, his word still carries weight. Old friends with Chiwenga from the liberation days, and certainly not Mnangagwa's cup of maheo. His influence is not loud but lethal. He doesn't need to give orders, he only needs to nod, and entire regiments adjust their posture. Men like Chiweshe don't need social media to make an impact. Their power lies in the room you can't enter, the strategy you'll never hear, and the loyalty that doesn't need hashtags to trend. Then there's the ghostly choir of retired war veterans, the men Mnangagwa tried to page like expired milk. Think Major General Enkel Bedrugeje, Parents Shiri, may his soul rest in peace, and Sibusiso Moyo, may his soul rest in peace. These are the original architects of the military political complex. Though many have been silenced by death, dismissal, or diplomatic exile, their ideological footprints remain and their proteges still haunt the corridors of KG6. Mnangagwa may have changed the generals, but he never truly erased the loyalties. Every one of those men left behind foot soldiers, mentees, and strategic thinkers who still believe in the Chiwenga doctrine of a reformed ZANU-PF, one that removes the greedy, edging looters and restore military discipline to national governance. The same invisible network is what Geza means when he whispers about progressive forces. Now let's address the elephant in the briefing room. Geza claims that the progressive forces control 60% of the Zimbabwe National Army. That's not a claim you make lightly, especially in a country where suggesting the president has a cold could land you in a jail for bioterrorism. So either Geza is hallucinating on a very special brand of Chimani Mani herbs, or he knows something the rest of us don't. And judging by the way Mnangagwa is paging army commanders like a man trying to delete his browser history, we suspect Geza is not just guessing. You don't reshuffle your military every 2 months if your house is in order. You do that when you are trying to plug leaks in a sinking ship, and Mnangagwa's ship is leaking faster than promises before an election. So what's the big picture? Mnangagwa is terrified, not of the Triple C, not of sanctions, not of inflation. He married that one long ago. No, he is terrified of a soldier with nothing to lose. That's why the ZDF is undergoing a massive cleansing, a polite term for chopping off anyone who doesn't sing from the ZANU-PF hymn book. He knows that the real coup doesn't come when soldiers start marching. It comes when they start ignoring him. When the guns no longer salute you, but instead look through you, that's when you call emergency cabinet meetings in the middle of the night. Mnangagwa's paranoia is a bug. It's a feature of a system built on betrayal. But here's the twist. The more Mnangagwa pages, the more he exposes himself. Because if you remove every general loyal to Chiwena, all you are left with are political bouncers in uniform. And no one trusts a commander who was promoted for singing jingles. Meanwhile, Geza continues to speak in riddles, tweets in codes, and appears in shadows like a revolutionary Batman. And the people, they are watching, waiting, and wondering, when will these progressive forces stop hinting and start marching? Each silent night feels more loaded than the last. Because in Zimbabwe, revolution doesn't always come with fanfare. Sometimes it comes with the quiet withdrawal of loyalty from those who hold the real power, the ones with the guns. So, to answer the question, who are Geza's progressive forces? They are the silent, brooding men in olive green uniforms, the ones who once marched for the flag but now feel betrayed by a scarf. They are commanders who remember the liberation struggle, not just the ZANU-PF struggle. And if Geza is right, they are planning something big. Or maybe they are already doing it and we just haven't seen the curtain rise. In a country where betrayal is a currency and power is a gun without a safety catch, it's only a matter of time before the progressive forces make their next move. Whether it's loud or silent, sudden or strategic, that's the question keeping the president awake at night. In the meantime, here at Zimwaves TV, we'll keep asking the uncomfortable questions, poking the bear and following the scent of gunpowder and treason. Because in Zimbabwe, coups don't knock, they break down doors. And we'll be right here reporting from the trenches of truth, dodging propaganda bullets and regime fantasies. Our job is to soothe you. It's to wake you up before the next chapter begins. Because whether you support the current regime or not, one thing is clear, the real power struggle is just heating up and the progressive forces aren't done yet. And if you want the real inside scoop, not the sugar-coated hallucinations fed to you by the Herald, then smash that subscribe button like you are smashing the regime's propaganda. Zimwaves TV, where the truth doesn't wear camouflage, but it definitely fights back. We are not the mouthpiece of the state. We are the microphone of the people. And our batteries don't run out when the electricity goes. Stay tuned. Something is coming.
Vageza muripiko, vageza muripiko, vageza muripiko, vageza muripiko, Marie zanu musaitambire ikapamberi marino tevera motadze zanu musadzichaire tikasumbunuka munodziwanawo. Chivero ati muchauya vageza muripiko yokaye mabundu kupera kwa kurume Marie zanu musaitambire nikapamberi marinotevera motadze zanu musadzichaire tikasumbunuka munodziwanawo.